What is a superhero? Tonight. What is a superhero?
Someone who goes beyond what we think are the boundaries of being human.
Yeah.
So they go above and beyond.
Yeah.
And-
Leslie?
Yeah.
Superhero.
I think a superhero is someone who rescues when people have reached their limits.
Kuda. Superhero. What is a superhero?
Okay, a superhero is someone who comes through and makes things happen for people and saves the day.
Yeah. Okay, so a superhero is defined as a benevolent, fictional character with superhuman powers such as Superman. The key words I want you to hold on to here are superhuman and fictional. Father's Day is coming up, and all the tweets about dads being superheroes are about to flood our timelines. We're about to see stuff like, to my superhero dad, Father's Day, right? We are about to see, celebrate your superhero, your dad this Father's Day, your rock, your protector, your strength. So what you see happening here is people are gonna come out and really, love their fathers, appreciate their dads, their dads, right? Brands are going to run competitions about who the super dad is and why you think your dad is a super dad. So this is an example of, it's always the same. Thank you, Dad, for being the super dad that you are to me and my siblings. Gratitude will pour out from every status, every post, everyone. On Father's Day, all dads are super, except the absent ones, of course. Why is this? But Thembi, why are you saying people? Oh. Okay, so what's the issue with people celebrating their dads, calling them super dads, telling them they're superheroes? Women see men as a provider, a disposable commodity, someone responsible for paying her bills and taking care of her wants and needs. The sole provider. Thank you, T1. I never saw my dad as human. Not once. And only when I was 21, that's when I started to see him as a person. My whole life I'd never thought he had feelings or he had weaknesses or he also wanted to be wanted. He was raising 5 girls, didn't have a son, and I was his son. But when he'd get home, like he'll pull up, you hear him at the gate, you see the lights, everyone would scatter. Like everyone goes straight to their rooms. And he'd watch TV alone, he'd eat by himself, and the only time he'd see me is if I needed money. Or I was in trouble and mom says, you better confess before I tell you. So when he comes on that day, I'll just be sitting on the couch like, hello, and I think like he instinctively knew when he sees you that you want something. My dad got laid off when CFX closed, our government, and he was unable to get another job after that. And it became hard for me to go to him to say, I need money. And I knew it made him uncomfortable to ever say to me, I can't, or I don't have. And it got so uncomfortable to the point where if I needed to ask for money, I'd have to go and check his wallet first. When we had cash. You remember that? Yeah? We had cash once upon a time. So you go and check the wallet first to see, okay, is there money? And then go and say, please can I have G? Please can I have money? So men are supposed to be the provider, the ATM. No feelings, tin man, never expresses that, things are tight, things are not well, doesn't like to be in that position. And it's not easy being a sole provider. Being a provider, especially in this economy, is getting harder and harder. Most men that deny pregnancies don't want the responsibility of being a provider. You have to drag them to court to even get $1. I don't know what you heard about me, but you can't get $1 out of me. So, so this inability to provide is making them unstable. You know, cheap things have a habit of being defective. So men are supposed to be the provider, the protector, the peace, but their happiness is usually secondary. Let's go back to the story about my dad. So you go and ask him, so you've seen money, there's $1 in there. And you're like, Dad, please can I have money for airtime? So he was a smoker. I should know about that. So he was a smoker and clearly he needed cigarettes. But then he would go through the sacrifice of giving me money for airtime instead of buying these smokes, and then he would have to go without. And Ty, you know how hard that is. Oh, sorry. The same patriarchal society that we thought was favoring men is turning out to be their worst nightmare as well. Beer makes most men happy, but no, he needs to pay fees and handle business in the home. Being the head of the house is a constant act of sacrifice which may cause resentment and unhappiness. This inability to provide is, oh, that's the wrong way, sorry. Have you ever noticed how in most TV adverts, the man is the idiot or the butt of all the jokes? We think females don't value males, but the media says males don't value male lives. If there's an advert for charity, aka poverty porn, it's always a female that's used in the forefront. Something about women and girls screams damsel in distress. With men, it's like, yeah, he's a man. He should figure it out. He should make a plan, you know? So you'll find that most of these NGOs and stuff will always have some hungry little girl or a breastfeeding mom with a kid, and then she's like thin and gauntly. But if you're to put Innocent Reza, it doesn't have the same effect. Still thin, but, you know. Right, so, the big question, does this mean that we should date broke men? Okay. And it's like, even reading that was hard, you know, because I don't know, I wasn't there when they were like, let's do this 50-50 thing, you know, because I don't like manual labor, I don't like to carry heavy bags, I don't like to open my own door, you know, so I wasn't there, don't count me in, don't sign me up for that. I could never date a broke man. Like the tweet says, most of us come from nothing. I had lack in my childhood, but I promised myself that I'd never put myself or my kids in that situation. The man I'm dating is not Bill Gates, but he is a provider of a man. What does this mean? It means the RTGS that he gets, he spends wisely. His priorities are on right. Imagine dating a rich man that buys booze, but the kids don't have books. Money is there, but the priorities are skewed. So in the end, that is pointless. It gets better. It does. So the man can't provide, the situation is tight, you know, but Thembi has a JOB, you know. What am I to do? Leading us to a situation where women have to put on the big boy pants. I don't even know why they're called the big boy pants, but I'm hoping you're starting to see the problem here. The fact that, you know, it's big boy pants, it's not big girl pants, so you need to be a woman about it. It's just reference to how the men have to be the provider. And even if, you know, I'm doing it, it's called me, you know, wearing the big boy pants. The feminists have been working hard, burning bras, conducting marches, advocating for change, and we're starting to see the results. More and more women are getting educated and taking their places in key positions in the government and in the boardrooms. Women are becoming self-sufficient. I read an article that women can now have kids with just ovaries, but they can only have girls. Okay, so imagine having kids all on our own. Because we're seeing more and more women taking up their space, plus affirmative action, it's becoming more competitive. Men are being phased out, and women are becoming happier. Am I saying women are happiest without men? It's not me, it's the tweet. And the result is upset men and happy women. In the same way that we have slave queens or sugar babies, We have men that don't mind having a woman pay his way and look after him. This is because the new male roles have not been defined for the men. If we are not providers, then what are we? So a tweet that says you're empowering women, but who is preparing men for these empowered women? I'd like to think that I'm an empowered woman. Does this mean he can stay at home and chill? Of course not. I make my own money. Go thee also and make your own. The situation we find ourselves in is a mess. I'll explain. The pressure to be a provider starts at a young age. I discovered recently that the Shona culture, the boy child is given the title of Sekuru from birth. And from childhood, they are groomed to lead the clan. In their 20s, men can leave home. In fact, they're encouraged to leave home and make their own plan. Whereas girls are told you only leave this house through marriage. It's frowned upon that a woman will leave her father's home to go and stay by herself. They think you want to do, musikanza or whatever. But with boys around 21, the dad is like, so when you gonna go out? What's your plan? So yeah, men are given that pressure from a young age to say, listen, you need to find your own way. If a man earns less than a woman, chances are he'll never feel man enough. If his thinking is affixed to the notion of manhood that is chained to the provider mentality, men can still be men beyond just being mere providers. Women can help by not stigmatizing men who can't. It's a hobby. I'm the main cause of this stigma. I do it on a daily, effortless. My blog readers expect it. So there is that of the male ego comes into play. Are you okay with making less money than your partner? Is it okay that Thembi makes more than Thembi makes more? Is it okay? Or will you start to get bothered? Because what we then start to see here is the male ego, him acting out, having some problems. Now things are not alright in the home because he feels like being a provider is what he's good at. And now if you're providing for himself, he's feeling spare. Always pussyfooting around men's emotions. You're not a provider, you're selfish, you don't want to court women but expect a woman to submit herself to you. It seems as if men, I use that loosely, only accept gender roles when it seems to benefit yourself. This one is important because now you need to pick a struggle. Are you going to be the man, the provider? In that case, do it to its full completion. But if you want me to assist you, then we're going halfies on everything. That means chores, labor, and cooking, all of that. We're going halfies on everything. So you need to pick one side. Men want a woman that cooks full-time and does all the traditional wife things like cooking, cleaning, tending to the kids. If you want a wife that does all that for you, you need to be a provider and let her stay home, the audacity. Wanting an extra income plus a free maid. Men need to do this one. What's our role as women? To sit by and watch. I'm joking. We need to change the perception we grew up with about men. All that provider, superhuman nonsense needs to go out the window. We need to take men off this pedestal and see them for what they really are, humans, flesh and blood. We need to pay more attention to the mental state of the men around us. If you want to see that an issue is important, it has a whole month dedicated to it. And this month is Men's Health Month, which means, it's clearly something that you need 30 days to work through every year. A recent study found that 2 of 3 men skip a visit to the doctor unless the illness becomes severe. So here, it's about how men are struggling and they will not seek help. Even physically, if he sees he's got a huge gash, like, listen, I'll just walk it off. It'll be fine. So we need to pay more attention to them and guide them to say, listen, go and get help, or you're not coping, or whatever it is, the help that they require. Men will ignore vital health issues because going to the doctor makes them feel weak. Superheroes See why it was problematic to call someone a superhero. Too much pressure. Superheroes don't go to the hospital unless they're Batman, but he isn't really a superhero.
You feel quite strongly about that.
So what must happen now? We need to talk. Let's catch them while they're still young, to open up and discuss issues. Let's provide spaces for our sons to speak to us. Let's be present. A study was done and it shows that mental illness starts to present itself as young as the age of 14. So we're waiting until they can afford alcohol and they're legal to do some things. But even now at their young age, they've started to have some issues and the issues can start to present themselves at 14. There is a reversal of roles in society currently, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing, unless you read Proverbs 31 verse 3. Men have been gardeners, and now we must explore the possibility of the men being the flowers. It's a lot of pressure being a superhero, and more of them are breaking on the inside and desperately needing someone to talk to. Apparently they can't talk to each other like women do, but there are organizations that deal with these issues. The Bronco use in Zim is so high among the male youth. All the documentaries that have come out about it, never once has a female been using Bronco. All these Bronco drinkers will tell you that they're stressed and they need an escape that Bronco gives them. Studies show that males die by suicide 3 to 4 times often than females. Do you know why? Whenever they talk, you'll see them as, and they should man up. Male and females need equal mental health. You guys are also allowed to speak, but not foolishly. It's okay to not have your shit together. It's okay to feel depressed. It's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to not have everything figured out. To feel a wave of uncertainty come crashing over you and not know which way is up, or when your next gulp of air will come. These are perfectly normal feelings that every man experiences, and it's okay to talk about it. What's not okay is suffering in silence. And in closing, shout out to all the men going through a lot with no one to turn to because the world has wrongly taught our males to mask their emotion, and that strong means silent.
So profound.
Yes, no questions.